This man is having a heart attack. The hospital is a 10-minute drive. Chris Favorin staggers to his neighbor's house, hoping the Mowrys can help. Rachel is a nurse and Chris is a firefighter.
We normally just ignore the doorbell because we get so many solicitors in our neighborhood. And we looked at the camera and we saw it was our neighbor Chris, and he was in very definite distress. So we immediately came outside and talked to him to see what was going on. He said he was having chest pain and left arm pain, which are pretty indicative of a heart attack. We asked his fiance, Beth, to go over to their house. She said they had some baby aspirin. So we said to run over, grab us some of that baby aspirin, because that's one thing you want to try and give when someone's having a heart attack.
I called 911 and Chris kept talking to him. When he started having a seizure, we kind of rolled him onto his side like we're trained to do, made sure he wasn't hitting his head on our concrete, and just tried to keep him safe until the seizure would stop. And that's when the seizure stopped. He had lost pulses.
The couple takes turns doing chest compressions and checking his pulse. Paramedics arrive and use a defibrillator 3 times to restart Faverin's heart.
We started to move him into the ambulance once we got pulses back, and ended up losing pulses again, and he required an additional shock from their defibrillator. And then I did ride in the ambulance with him on the way to the hospital, and on the way there is when he regained consciousness and started, he was awake and talking. He was talking about how he's getting married soon and he needs to make it to his wedding.
Favorin is planning to marry his partner of 15 years in 5 weeks. At the hospital, doctors find and treat a blockage called a widowmaker.
I was not ready to go, and I praise the Lord for keeping me around, and I know that He has a plan for me. As of right now, I'm a grandfather to my first granddaughter, and I have another one on the way. So I plan on living my best life for them, and for the rest of my family, and for the loved ones and my neighbors.
2 days later, Favorin returns to the very same spot, this time to thank the neighbors who saved his life.
It was a big relief. Had no deficits, no issues at all. It was probably healthier than he's ever been in that moment because they got that blockage out.
Learning CPR can save somebody's life. And it doesn't have to be a fireman and a nurse or a nurse practitioner. It can be you, it can be a school teacher, it can be even teenagers. Children can learn CPR and they can save a life doing this.
I do owe my life to them, absolutely. And I believe it was because of the CPR they gave me.